just saw that we have great accuracy and a good fix. So we can start by measuring the first point. Of course, it's no coincidence that I'm standing on this manhole cover, and that manhole was the first layer that was already created in UNI-GRX. I'm just simply going to put the tip of the pole in the center of the object, and I'm going to level the uni right above it. The position of the UNI-GR1 is calculated in the antenna. By giving the pole length earlier, we relay that position to the actual position on the ground, which means that we have to make sure the uni is level, centered over the object we want to measure, to make sure that we make optimal use of the accuracy. Once the uni is leveled, you can hit the blue big plus button. You don't have to worry about accuracy at this moment, as you cannot push this button when your accuracy is worse than what you have allowed in the settings. At the moment you hit the button, the record screen shows. At this moment, the position of the point is already recorded and the uni does not necessarily have to be level. This gives you the time to record the data in an easy mode. In this case, we select the layer manhole. Because it's sewerage, I select sewer from the utility options. I select the right diameter, and since it's a closed manhole, I select that at the cover type. Optionally, I can fill in some remarks, but since I don't have any at this point, I leave it blank. As you can see, I leave the name field empty. This is an optional field. You could use it to give it another name to your point, but it's not necessarily needed, because the uni automatically does this for you. If you leave it empty, this will simply be point 1 and the next point will be simply point 2 and so on. To finish, we click save and we can see the point appearing on the map. Congratulations! You are now a surveyor. You just measured your first point. To make sure you know how to measure lines as well, we're going to simply imagine that beneath this manhole cover, straight ahead of me, runs a power cable which we need to measure. To do that, we simply have to level the uni again, but before we hit the big plus, we need to change the object type from point to line. Left of the big blue plus button, you can see a map marker. If we click it, we see 3 options, from top to bottom: polygon, polyline, and point. We already worked with a point. Now we're going to select polyline. Once selected, and in case the uni is leveled, we can click the plus button to record the first point of the line. Select the right layer and fill in the attributes of the whole line. In this case, we select the layer power cable, current type AC, and this cable has 2 cores. To record the following points, all you need to do is walk towards the next point on the line, level the uni and click the big blue plus button again. This connects a line between the points. To continue the line, you just walk to the next point, level again and hit plus, and you keep repeating this process until you've arrived to the last point of the line. Let's say we've arrived at an AC-DC converter station. You have recorded the last point of the AC line and the power cable continues, but not as AC, but as DC. In this case, we simply have to select the line again to start a new line, click plus to record its first point, and we can now change the current type to DC. Fill in the right amount of course, and continue. While we continue to move on the line, we keep clicking the big blue plus button every time we want to record an extra point on the line. Of course, when the uni is level. On straight parts, you can use less points than you do when the direction of the line, or in this case the power cable, changes. Congratulations! You are now a line surveyor. Which brings us to polygons, to make you an all-round surveyor. Let's say that instead of the center of the manhole, you actually want to cover the full surface of the manhole. You can do that with a polygon. Let's walk to the first point and start our polygon. Of course, we begin leveling. Once done, you simply select polygon from the shape options and hit the big blue button to record the first point of the polygon. We select the manhole layer and the right attributes, then we click save and we see the first point appear on the map. Now we walk towards the next point on the polygon, level the uni and hit plus again. We see that this first creates a line, but when we now walk to the third point and hit plus, it creates a triangle. When we go to the fourth point and hit plus, we get what we want, a nice polygon of the manhole cover. Want to know the surface details? Simply click the polygon and it shows you in square meters. Of course, using the object type polygon for a manhole cover is quite unlikely. It is way more likely that you use a polygon to measure big areas, such as this parking place. So let's give that a try. We start by getting out of the project and into the layer section to create a new layer to record the parking space in. Don't worry at this time about losing your data. Once a point is stored, you don't need to save it. It will be there when we get back. Since I don't want to record any attributes, I have just made the layer parking area without attributes, and we can now go back to the project to measure the parking area. Since we had already arrived at the first corner of the polygon, we simply just have to select polygon again, hit the big blue button, select the parking area layer and save the first point. Then we walk on to the next outer points of the area while hitting save at each point. As you can see, the polygon forms, and once you have recorded the last point, you can select the polygon to see more details, such as the surface, to determine the amount of bricks you might need.